Hi everyone, I'm Tanaz from Forever Conscious and this is your energy forecast. It's actually going to cover the next few weeks because leading into the holidays I'll be taking a little break. So this is the last energy forecast for the year. So I will be covering what is going to be happening in the skies until the 7th of January when I will be back. So we have a really busy coming weeks. There's just so much activity going on. So let me just start at the beginning. So today, the 17th, 18th, depending where you live, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. This is the final new moon of the year, the final cycle of 2017 lunar energy. And so whatever lessons you've had to learn, whatever gifts you've needed to receive, all of this is going to be delivered to you under the influence of this last lunar cycle of the calendar year. So we'll be feeling a sense of things wrapping up, things coming to an end, any last minute lessons or pushes or things that you've needed to do or to learn or grow with are all going to be coming to culmination under this Sagittarius new moon. This Sagittarius new moon is full of energy. It's a really high energy new moon. So you may be feeling a burst of energy, a burst of inspiration. You may be feeling like supercharged, super energized, which is great. And it's really going to help you to kind of push through those last 2017 lessons. This new moon is also, two things are significant about it. Number one is that it's activating a little bit of what happened at the big solar eclipse that we had on August 21st. So you may notice similar themes, you may notice things wrapping up from that time. Whatever was going on for you with that big solar eclipse we had on August 21st will be kind of culminating at this new moon. This new moon is also hovering right on the galactic center. In astrology, the galactic center is the center of our Milky Way galaxy. And whenever we have a new moon on this part, in this part of the sky, we are all given huge energy activations. There's a huge chance for a rising of consciousness. There's a huge awakening and rebirth energy that comes with this. So it's a very powerful new moon. It's going to be really energizing and beautiful. After the new moon, so this is the 17th, 18th, on the 19th, we have Saturn shifting into Capricorn. Now, again, this may fall on the 20th, depending where you live. I think I mentioned maybe in one of my previous forecasts that Saturn was moving into Capricorn on the 21st. This is incorrect. It actually happens on the 19th, 20th. So, why is this significant? Saturn takes 2.5 years to move through each constellation. So since 2015, Saturn has been in Sagittarius. While in Sagittarius, Saturn has been guiding all of us on a global level to think about life's bigger questions, to think about the kind of these philosophical questions of why are we here? Why are we living in this time? Why is there war and all of these things happening in the world? It's also been a time on a global level where we have been really assessing what are our values? What are our values as people, as countries? All of these issues have been stirred with Saturn in Sagittarius. Now Saturn is moving into Capricorn. Capricorn is Saturn's home. It's its ruling constellation. So Saturn is really going to be able to express its most abundant self, its most true self is going to be expressed in Capricorn. And so whatever lessons we've had to learn with Saturn in Sagittarius about these philosophical ideas or shaping our ideas or shaping our beliefs, we're now going to get to put them into action. Capricorn is earthy, and while Saturn is in Capricorn, we're all going to be encouraged to take responsibility for the manifestations that we are putting out into Earth. What actions are we taking? What are we building? We are all connected. We are all part of the collective consciousness, which means we're all responsible for the creations and the state of this world. We are all responsible for that. And the more we can take responsibility for ourselves, our families, our communities, the more we are going to be able to create beautiful, harmonious situations on planet Earth. So Saturn in Capricorn is really about taking responsibility for what we are building on Earth, what we are creating on Earth. So it is heavy. There's a heaviness to this energy, but it's also very satisfying. There's a gratification, because if you do the lessons, if you take the pushes that Saturn will be giving you for the next 2.5 years while it tours through Capricorn, you are really going to come out, stronger, more determined. Capricorn, the symbol for Capricorn is a mountain goat. And if you think of it, if you've ever seen pictures of mountain goats climbing on these weird, impossible places to reach, the mountain goats sort of hanging on the side of the mountain, and that is kind of symbolic of where we are heading. We can reach the top of our mountain, we can find the footing and make those steps to get to where we need to be, as long as we're willing to do the work, believe in ourselves, and push forward. So that is kind of a global understanding and also a personal understanding of what Saturn in Capricorn will really be teaching us. Saturn in Capricorn on a personal level will also be helping us to take action with what it is that we want to do, especially in our career. Capricorn is a very career, ambitious driven sign, and we're all going to feel this no matter what sign we are. We're all going to feel this ambition and this feeling of wanting to work hard and get results. Okay, so that's the 19th, 20th. Then on the 21st, you can see how this is such a busy time. On the 21st, we have the solstice. So in the northern hemisphere, we're shifting into winter. In the southern hemisphere, we're shifting into summer. The solstice is like the final cycle in the astrological year. So the astrological year starts when the sun goes into Aries in March. And this is the final quarter, the final season of this cycle. So we are wrapping up. We are heading into a time where we've got to tie up loose ends. We've got to finish our work, finish what we started. So think back to what was happening in your life in March of 2017, and now you were kind of on the home stretch to whatever was going on for you at that time. Whatever things you brought in, whatever lessons were needed to be had, gifts that were brought in, you were on the home stretch with this energy. This solstice energy, no matter where you live, is also going to be asking us to kind of go within. It's a very internal energy. So be really mindful about rushing ahead or trying to put too much on your plate. We've got this new moon, which is really electric. It's really lighting up the sky. We've got Saturn going into Capricorn. We've got the solstice. There's a lot of activity. And so it's going to be really important for you to check in with yourself, and to, even though you'll feel energized, if you do too much, if you push yourself too much, you will feel drained and zapped. So just really keep checking in with yourself, and don't be afraid to say no to things that you don't really want to do. So try to keep your plate clear so you have time to use this solstice energy to kind of go within and work out, okay, where am I at? And what is next for me as I move through this last chapter of the astrological year. The reason I also say that it's important to go slow and to move slow, well, two reasons. So on the 22nd, so boom, 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 next week is a busy week. 22nd, we have Mercury going direct. So Mercury has been shifting, has gone into the underworld to get messages. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. And when Mercury emerges from the shadows, it has a little notebook of all the little messages that have been tucked and buried within that it needs to give you. Mercury will take time to deliver these messages. If there are messages, if there are things that you need to look at, they will be delivered over the coming weeks. So also give yourself time to get all the messages that you need to hear. Mercury is, when Mercury goes retrograde, he digs within us so we can bring things that are blocking us, stopping us, thwarting our movement forward. He brings them to the surface. He gives us the messages that we need so we can make the decisions moving forward, so we can make action moving forward. So be nice to Mercury. Give Mercury time to deliver any messages that it's collected on its journey through the underworld. This was a very powerful Mercury retrograde. And so it's likely that if there is anything that was bubbling within that needs to come up, Mercury will be delivering that to you in the next few days. So after going direct. So, again, take it slow. So that is this week. And I want to sort of sum up this week that we have with telling you to just embrace it, feel that electric activity, but also and all those upgrades and those planetary shifts, but just be really careful with your energy, with how you use your energy. Protect yourself, stay in check with yourself. If you are empathic or sensitive to energies anyway, you may feel pulled in lots of different directions. So really use this week to center yourself, and like I said, don't overwhelm yourself with lots and lots of things to do. Try to minimize what you're putting your attention on and use that energy for yourself and for, celebrating the holiday season. Whatever rituals or things that you do around this time of year, a lot of you will be traveling, a lot of you will be connecting with family. This is all wonderful because Saturn Capricorn energy is all about returning to roots. It's about getting grounded. It's about thinking about what your energy is putting out into the world. And so spending time with family, spending time feeling joyful and gracious and full of gratitude and, doing fun things are all wonderful ways to use this energy. If you feel overwhelmed at all, come back to grounding, come back to groundedness, the earth, being in nature. Saturn in Capricorn is a very root chakra type energy. It really wants us to feel grounded and secure in who we are. Other things that can come up is feelings of security. So doing things to make yourself feel more secure, whether that's managing finances or, making your home more comfortable. This is all like very material, practical stuff to bring that sort of feeling of comfort and security into your life. Okay, so that's this week. Of course, this also continues on. Saturn in Capricorn is 2 years, but that's kind of the crux of the energy for this week. I also want to talk about January 1st, January 2nd. So we have a full moon. What a way to welcome the new year. January 1st, January 2nd, we have a full moon in the sign of Cancer. This is a supermoon, and it's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive, feminine, intuitive full moon, which is why I'm also saying to you guys for the remainder of December, try not to take on too much, because this full moon, if you've taken on too much and if you have, tried to say yes to people please everyone around you, this full moon will be triggering for you. This full moon is about self-love, self-care, looking after yourself. And if you haven't done those things, if you've been neglecting yourself, you will feel it come this full moon. This full moon is the perfect time to check in with yourself, to practice self-love, to be gentle. It's very, very sensitive and intuitive. So trust your intuition, trust your intuitive hunches, and keep your energy strong and protected. I will be writing about this full moon, so please check in on foreverconscious.com because I will write about it closer to the time. Also, so you can kind of see how we have this, movement of energy. So we've got the new moon, and then we've got all of these things happening, in the last few weeks of December. And then we head into this really sensitive, supercharged super moon on the first day of the year. So it's just so much. And so I've also come up with a 7-day ritual that you can do starting on the new moon or starting any day that you can. When I was writing this article, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, a 7-day ritual, is anyone going to do this? Is this going to just scare everyone? But not all ideas that I write about come from me, I have to say. So I just really felt this strong urge to write a 7-day ritual. Do not feel like you have to do the whole thing, okay? I will post the link below the video. You can take a look. Don't feel like you have to do the whole thing. But if you want some support, if you want some guidance, if you need some assistance, if you want to really embrace the energy that's happening from the end of December to the start of January, use it. It's there for you to use. I send it with a lot of love. If you need it, use it. And I will post it at the bottom of the video. It's 7 days. They're really simple little rituals. But like I said, pick and cherry pick what you want. Leave the rest. There are no rules. Be really gentle with yourself. This full moon is also a time where we're really going to have to look at our health, mind, body, and spirit. So, like I'm saying, look after yourself, self-care, just be really generous and gentle with yourself. Okay, I also want to just point out that after that full moon on the 1st and 2nd of January, we are heading into eclipse season. So also in January on the 31st, we have a blue moon eclipse, full lunar eclipse. It's a blue moon because 2 full moons in a month are called blue moons, and it's an eclipse. So after that full moon in the first part of January, we're entering into eclipse season. Eclipses always bring big change, big turning points, big activations of energy. I will talk more about the eclipse when I return on the 7th, but I just wanted to let you know that we are heading into eclipse season, okay? So we have such a busy few weeks, a really busy start to the year. I hope you guys all have a wonderful holiday period. I will be taking a break to spend time with my family, but you can still find me on Instagram. I will be posting updates on Instagram. You can look for me, Forever Conscious. And I will still be writing on the website here and there about the full moon and other things that you need to know. So have a wonderful holiday period. Stay safe. Be kind and loving to yourself. Be kind and loving to those around you. And I will see you in the new year. I am Tanaz from Forever Conscious. Thank you so much.